executive and personal coach. One of the tools in Mind Shop that I really do like is something called the bike of life. That's because I would get a lot of requests from people who require coaching simply because their life is out of whack, it's out of balance, and work has probably taken over to the exclusion of family and or friends, and people find themselves working long hours, perhaps into the evening. The father is not getting home to see the children, not to tuck them in bed at night, or he's leaving early in the morning and not seeing his kids. The wife may be working too and finding that the kids aren't getting enough time, the children not getting enough time. It might be that there are just two couples in this relationship and they're not seeing each other appropriately. They're like ships passing in the night, as people would often say to me. It might be just a solitary person, singles, who feels that all they're doing is work, work, work. There's no fun, there's no recreation. This is a fairly common scenario, particularly in this day and age where we have technology that is pushing us and pushing us fast, and there's a greater expectation to do more things in less time. And so people, in a sense, tend to be time poor. But often they get life out of kilter when we talk about life balance and we talk about work-life balance. The bike of life, which is one of the Mind Shop tools, I think is a really interesting tool to closely examine, because it sees that the wheel of the bike, and I haven't represented this as a wheel so much as just a diagram, but the front wheel of the bicycle is about work, and the rear wheel of the bicycle is about personal life. And they could be swapped. This could be front and this could be back. There's no particular order in that. But what is important is to look at the spokes of the wheel that go to make up the work scenario. And typically that might involve marketing, it might involve strategy, finance, human resources, operations, and you may be able to add more spokes into the wheel depending on your job role or job function. But it is important to get those perspectives in a clear perspective. And what typically happens is we allocate a certain amount of time to a particular spoke. And we might find that various spokes take a different amount of time depending on what we're doing. And we need to actually sit down and look at the spokes on our work wheel and then determine what we're actually doing, what currently we're doing, so what is the now, and how we would really like it to be in the future. So what is the now in terms of our spokes of the wheel, and how would we like it to be as we go down the track? That requires some sitting down and some thinking and some planning, but it's important to do because people who complain they don't have a work-life balance really are out of control. They are not driving the bus. And this is really a nice tool that allows you to take more control and allows you to drive your own bus. Likewise, when we're talking about the whole of the bike here, not only the work scene but personally as well, we need to understand the various facets of our life that make up who we are in the scenario of our living. And so there is family, there'll be health and fitness, there's dollars and budgeting and finance, there's the recreation, social, there's the growth and learning and courses that we might undertake, and there's the spiritual. So these all go to make up, and you might want to add others yourself as they become important to you. If there are particular aspects that are not covered here, you might want to add them. And again, we work out how much time we're spending on some of these areas, whatever they might be, and basically we work out where we are now and where we want to be in the future. And so give each of these perhaps a rating if you wanted to rate them on 1 to 10, where 1 is not doing them much at all, and 10 is where we'd really like to be doing them, or we're doing them fairly effectively, and they're consuming a good deal of time. So on a rating scale of 1 to 10, you could rate each of these. Health, well, where am I now? I'm at about a 1 in terms of the time I give to it. Where would I like to be? I'd like to be at about an 8. Visiting family, well, I'm at about a 9 or a 10. Where would I like to be? I think I'd like to be at about a 5. So it allows you to get a sense of how your life is, both in terms of work and in terms of where you are personally, and to have more control over that. And when you sit down and you work out the aspects of life and what are the spokes on the wheel here and what are the spokes on the wheel here, you work out where you are now and where you'd like to be, you then have a sense of being more in control. Then once you've worked out what you want to do more of and what you want to do less of, the next trick is to be able to work out an action plan, and that probably looks like a one-page plan, to then actionalize this particular diagram. If you want to do more of something or less of something else, then put it down into a one-page plan so that you do then have a sense of control of your life, and life is not out of balance or out of whack. Because if it is out of whack and out of balance, then we are not happy people. We are anxious and we're depressed and we're stressed, and basically life ought not to be that way. So get back in control of your bus, get back in control of where you're driving and where you want to go, and have a look at this bike of life, because basically life is about getting it all in perspective, because that's where we really deserve to be.